The first thing we want to do is draw a line down vertically and a line across so as to make four quadrants. Okay, these four quadrants would be from left to right, whether you do something or not. Like an example of that is, do you keep the job and do it, or you quit the job and don't do it? That would be one of the decisions on the left or the right.
Yeah. Just need to plug in here.
Okay. And then the top and the down, the vertical axis, we're going to decide, we're going to use that to specify whether we like it or whether we don't like it. All right? So how you feel about it. So left and right is whether you do it about what you do about it, and up and down are how you feel about it. You understand what I'm getting in? In fact, it may not be just one line, it may be gradations or whatever. Uh, but here's the point. Many people can't tell the difference between those two things. They have wrong view in the sense that, oh, it's the job and I don't like it, therefore the only option is, do I quit it or not quit it? Do I continue suffering with this bad job, or do I quit? And then if I quit, I'll probably be off suffering in something else. Right?
Yeah.
So that's the vertical at the bottom. In other words, I do that job and I don't like it and I feel bad, or I quit the job and I still feel bad. And those are the options that most people have for themselves. But now there's that vertical axis where we can go above that and we can say, okay, I can feel good and keep the job, or I can quit the job and feel good. But in fact, keeping the job or quitting the job is kind of irrelevant. The important point is, how do you feel?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes there are some jobs that are really, really hard to like. But that doesn't make them impossible to like. And sometimes it's better to like the job that you've got, because not having that job is even less liking. And there's a certain amount of dislike, I would say, that's in any job. That's why the Buddha gave the option of the Sangha, so that we can actually use our time, instead of our time we spent doing a job and hating that job and spending time hating the job that we're doing. Why not quit that job and spend all of our time in feeling good? But the other option is to start to train the mind so that you can begin to feel good, at least in the time when you're not doing the job. And then if you get pretty good at doing it, feeling good when you're not at job, then you can begin to feel good while you're at the job. So you have some options here about how you're going to, uh, let us say, apply your energy or apply your causes to get the effect that you want. And most people don't know how to do that. This is what we would call wrong view. Wrong view is, I can't get out of it. Or another wrong view is, I can get away with it. That I don't like that company, and so I'm going to pilfer their kitchen and take a pot or pan or two because I don't like the company, and I'll get away with it. Right? So that's another way of looking at wrong view. In both cases, the job and the other people at the job are enemies. And that we see wrong view in the sense of, I can do bad things, or um, because I don't like the job, I don't have to be very good at it. To where another option would be, well, I don't like this job, but I bet I can feel really good if I'm really good at it anyway. And maybe if I'm really good at the job, I'll start to like it better anyhow. So you see, you have a lot of different options in there.
What if you spend all your time trying to get better at the job and it doesn't work? In fact, you do the job for like 16 hours a day, and they're still very critical about the
Well,
product.
that's because the person who's doing that kind of thing is doing the same kind of attitude stuff about where they are sitting for 16 hours a day that they were thinking about the job. They don't like sitting on the floor meditating any better than they like the job. At least the job had a paycheck. What kind of paycheck is the meditation person going to get? Is a common machine going to come waltzing into the room after you sit for 100,000 hours, slap you with some chocolate pot, and finally you feel good? Is that how it's going to be?
Probably not.
Okay. So there's a whole lot of magical thinking going on in the sense that we don't understand the cause-effect relationship. We don't understand how to apply causes or how to apply fuels to get the right kind of fire to burn.
Yeah.
That when you put refuge on your fire, you're going to get a stinky, smoky, smelly, lukewarm, ugly fire. But if you put gas on a fire, you have a gas fire. Now you've got a solid blue flame. You can see with it. It gives really hot results depending upon the way that the flame is done. So it depends upon the fuel that you're putting in there. And if you put the same fuel on the fire of job and put that same fuel on the fire of meditation, you're going to get the same kind of stinky, smelly smoke.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that interesting? So how are you going to fuel your fires? That you have choices about that.
Yeah.
Don't limit your choices. In fact, um, even now you're thinking about what um, choices do I have that are big choices. And I'm inviting you to not only select big choices, allow yourself little choices in the sense of not what am I going to do with my life or what am I going to do next year, but rather what am I doing right now, this moment? What kind of fire am I setting right now? Am I setting a fire of confusion? Oh, I don't know what to do?
Hmm.
Or are you setting the fire of, hey, this moment's okay. I don't care what happens next year. I'm okay right now.
Yeah.
This is the first time you smiled since we started talking.
Took a while.
Well, yeah, but you got it. It finally sunk in. That's the teaching of the Buddha is that it's got to be done right now. So it's quite possible for people to quit their job, take on the yellow robes after a whole lot of journey and going to various. You have to travel halfway around the world to Thailand, and then they go and they visit this what and the next what, and they all look like hum hum. And they eventually take one, and then they sit for 16 hours a day, and they don't feel any better than they did when they had that job they hated.
Yeah.
All right? That's the left and the right. It doesn't matter where you are or what you're doing, it has to do with how you feel about it.
Yeah.
And the question is not how will you feel about it next year or next month, is how do you feel about it right now? And that you have choices about how you feel right now.
Yeah.
You can either feel the way that you have been feeling, which Bhikkhu Buddhadasa would call that the karma or the karma vipaka. The results of all of the ways that you have been doing it is that you keep doing it that way. We can even call that destiny. That once a person heads down the path of misery, they're going to be miserable for the rest of their life unless they start making some new choices. And along the way, that miserable person is going down through to a life of destiny that he's destined to be miserable. Everything that he runs across that makes him miserable, he'll say, aha, that's what makes me miserable. And he never turns around and looks at, hey, wait a minute, I'm making that thing miserable. I'm the one who's creating all the misery. That thing that I'm calling miserable is just a thing.
Mm.
It's just a job. You hate it because you choose to hate it. And you chose to hate it ignorantly because that's your habit. And this happens to a lot of people. They change jobs and they still are unhappy.
Yeah.
Some people get a promotion, and after the initial elation of look how big and important person I am, after they get the job and have to do it, they don't like it very much.
So how do you recommend to get better at the job so you can like it? How do you recommend getting better at it?
By liking it.
Just like it? Okay.
Mm-hmm. The mind is always the forerunner. So if you get the determination that you are going to like this job, then you start looking for the good things in it. And when you do, you find them, and then you say, hot diggity dog, it wasn't so bad after all. You literally talked yourself into feeling bad about that job. You can talk yourself into feeling good about it.
Yeah. Mm.
And in fact, that's good practice. Or you can come sit on the floor of a meditation hall for 16 hours a day and be miserable there. Your choice.
What do you do when I mean, I guess you could just talk yourself into feeling good at any time. But even if other people are like talking you into feeling bad in that way.
Well, you do recognize that people do talk you into feeling bad. That's their job. Everybody wants everyone else to feel the way that they feel. If somebody's angry, they want everybody to be angry.
Mm-hmm.
They'll pick on somebody just to get them angry. So he'll be angry too. And in a way, that justifies me being angry if I can get you to be angry too. For instance, if I'm angry at the bank, then I want to talk you into how bad the bank is so that you can be angry at the bank with me. But that's the hard one. The easy one, when I'm angry at you, and it's really easy to get you back angry at me. I
Yeah.
have to really convince you to hate the bank, but I can get you to hate me really easily. By acting angry at you. So, this is how it goes. Now, there's other examples of that, but we can see that this is actually human instinctual behavior. It's the herding instinct. Go along to get along. So when somebody wants to make you feel a certain way, and you do feel that certain way, you're feeling the way you're supposed to feel, which means that you have just been reborn as an animal, a draft animal, doing what you were told to do, put to work.
Mm.
And master wanted you to feel bad, you gotta feel bad. It's your job. It's part of being in the herd.
Mm. So. Mm.
So wakey, wakey. Wake up and see that. Wake up and just recognize. In fact, you could call this, in the Pali language for this, is mudita. Mudita means basically sympathetic vibration.
So wait,
right?
when the boss is like, why did you do this or something like that? You could like you don't want to laugh in his face, you know?
Why not? Get him cheered up. If you can cheer him up, he'll get his mind off of whatever he hates.
Yeah, I should try that.
Exactly. Yes, you can cheer him up.
Yeah.
I mean, look, he's already so remorse or unhappy about what you've done that he wants you to be unhappy also.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But deep down inside, all he really wants is for it to be right, and he wants to feel good about it. And maybe the way to do that is to get it fixed. And right now, I'm thinking about Eddie Murphy and how Eddie Murphy would handle it.
Yeah.
Make a joke out of it. What? You think that's right? Well, I like it the way that it is. Go ahead and complain, and let's see what you can find wrong with this thing, and we'll fix that too. But for me, it looks wonderful, beautiful.
Yeah. I don't think they would like that at all, man.
Well, do it in a way that they do like it.
Yeah.
Fine. That's the skill to be developed. Is just how can you spread your joy? But one thing that's absolutely imperative, and that is if you don't have sati, if you don't remember to be joyful, you won't be joyful. You will do what you're told to do. You will feel bad because other people feel bad. And then you won't have the joy to spread.
Mhm.
So the first thing we have to work on is not how do you spread joy, it's how do you get it so that you can spread it. And how can you keep spreading it? This is real what metta really is all about. Can you keep the hindrances out of the mind even while you're around other people so that you can be joyful, satisfied, content, and feeling successful even when they're criticizing you?
I mean, I feel like that's what we talked about with like having the sati up to scratch, but um yeah, I mean, like I was saying earlier about how I was just like very tired, and I was saying to myself, like, but I was like trying, I was like, I know like what's happening right now. Like, I know that I just need to like I was just saying to myself, I need to like make sure to keep the mind like restrict the mind out of thoughts I know that I'm easily going to have right now that are talking me to feeling bad. Try to keep them like wholesome at least. But I don't know that there was enough sati there
What
for
do you mean wholesome at least?
well, just like at least
If they're wholesome. And you can have wholesome thoughts at least some of the time.
yeah.
So wholesome at least, I think you mean that from time to time I can have wholesome thoughts. But as the skill develops, as sati, as you wake up, as you remember to have wholesome thoughts more and
Yeah.
more often, you wake up to remember that you have wholesome thoughts, the easier it is for you to have a wholesome thought. Even if you're very, very, very skilled at a particular job, if you don't remember to do it, you won't do the job.
Yeah, but I guess even the wholesome thought that I even said to myself at that moment wasn't really a wholesome thought, I guess.
Right. That's why we have to have the investigation. Is this stuff really wholesome or not? And generally, it's not. Generally, we have to add some joy. We have to turn things around. We have to remember to make the right effort.
I just it's well, I guess what I'm trying to say is that like in that moment, even like being aware of the circumstance, like you know that you're causing this, but where is the like? How do I turn it around? How do I get the joy? Like how do I bring it in? Like why can't I like you know gladden the mind?
First off, you need to move the camera down a bit because you're cutting yourself off. There you go. That's much better. Let me see a little bit of shirt. Okay. If I can see shirt and hair, I'm okay.
All right. So that's fine. All right.
If you can get your face in the middle of the camera shot, that would be better. Zoom will pick it up better if it's sit right in the middle. There you go. That's good. Okay. So you ask the very important question is how do you gladden the mind? Is that what you just said?
I guess so, because I couldn't at
But you
that time.
just did. Just this instant, you just did it. So you already know how. The
Yeah.
question is to remember to do it.
I couldn't remember in that moment.
I'm sorry, what was that? You frozen.
Well, hello?
Oh, you're back. Okay.
So I was saying I was recognizing, well, this is not how we want to feel. But I guess whatever it was that I have now that's allowed me to wake up to it and bring it back up was not available to me.
Well, that means that we need to remember to make that evaluation about is this how I want to feel or not? You need to develop that question for yourself, that investigation. Is this how you want to feel or not? That's a really good starter point.
I know, but I'm saying I know that this is not how I want to feel. But I was knowing it.
Okay. Well, now you have a choice now that you know that you feel the way that you don't want to feel. Now you have a choice. If you don't recognize that, if you don't wake up to it, if you don't remember to take a look, if you forget to ask that question, then you're back to the way everybody else is. So we at least have to remember to ask that question. Once we ask that question, the answer is going to be surprisingly a little bit easier than you think.
Okay. So,
Because you can just tell yourself, well, I don't have to feel that way. And immediately it starts to pass away. I do not have to feel uptight. And then you recognize the reason I'm feeling uptight is because I've been having uptight thoughts.
mm,
And if I
what do I
have
do?
nurturing, happy thoughts, then I don't have to feel so uptight.
Mm, what do I do if I say to myself, I don't want to feel this way, and even I try and have a good thought or something? I guess that's not the right attitude. You try and have a good thought. You're not really trying. Or you're not really doing it.
But that trying and not doing it is still more of the attitude of a failure. What's the use? I can't do this.
Yeah.
So you need to have a few successes so that you can, in fact, prove to yourself you can do this. Okay? You can
Mm,
do this. Now, I offer this present moment as example A, exhibit A. You can do this. You can do it right now. You can do it later.
yeah.
Remember
Okay.
this moment. You can do it. You can look at my happy mug and smile with me and feel good right now. You remember to do it.
Yeah.
Some students call and it's not 10 or 15 minutes, it's the whole hour and they're grumpy.
Yeah.
Grumpy or confused.
Yeah.
Okay? And you don't have to do that. You can remember that you can and you can use my joy as a trigger so that it can be like a spark and set you into joy.
Mm-hmm.
hmm And you can do that at work. So instead of having thoughts about, oh, the boss is coming, he's going to complain about this, that, and the other thing, you can say, hot dog, when that boss comes, I'm going to have a really nice, pleasant thing to say to him. When the
What,
boss comes, hi, boss, I'm really glad to see you.
what would I, that's what I'm gonna say.
Pardon?
I said, what would Dhammarato say? What would Dhammarato? I'm saying that's what I'm gonna say when I see the boss. When the boss comes, instead of what would you say, what would Dhammarato say? I'm kidding.
Well, you can short circuit that right from the question, what would Dhammarato say, to immediately, what did Dhammarato say? And then do that one.
Yeah.
You don't need that thought moment about Dhammarato. You can just come up with that joy.
Yeah. Uh-oh. What happened? I'm gonna press a button
Your
on my phone.
internet went kaput.
I'm
There
still
you
here.
are.
Anyways, a lot of technical difficulties today, but all right.
I happen to have a program that has an on-screen monitor of network traffic here on this PC.
So
and so I can tell what the traffic is, and I know that my connection is good. For instance, it will go to 0 when your screen freezes. I know that the problem is on my end. But if mine is still running at about 200 kilobytes or something a second, and the screen is frozen, I know that it's not here that's causing the problem, because this computer is still talking with the internet.
do a little investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm let's just say tired of not feeling the way I want to feel. I want to feel the way I want to feel. Hopefully
Okay.
I can do it.
All right, you have to remember. You have to remember to feel the way you want to feel. Because if you can remember that you can feel the way you want to feel, then you can feel the way you want to feel. If you don't remember you won't, you'll just have to feel the way you've always been feeling.
Yeah.
And you taught yourself to hate that job. It was part of the training program for that job is hating it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So every time you hate that job, you can remember, wait a minute, I don't have to hate this job. I can enjoy it instead.
I feel like that's a tough one.
Well, I'm not going to give you any easy things. I didn't promise you a rose garden. I promised that you could dance in thorns.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think about how to plug in these numbers in.
It's not a matter of how do you do it. You already know how. It's a matter of remembering to do it.
Yeah.
That's what. Because you already know how. We just did it. We've done it several times in this hour. Don't you remember? There you go again. I saw you. I saw you. That's it.
Oh boy. Yeah. Okay. Just remember. Just remember.
Yeah, tell yourself jokes.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, have some happy thoughts. Allow yourself to have wholesome thoughts. Get out of these unwholesome thoughts about how bad the job is.
Okay.
Make friends with that job and make friends with the one who does the job, and then make friends with the boss when he comes.
Yeah. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna do it.
Well, make friends with that too. You can do it in bed.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think. I guess it's just to remember. It's just to remember.
To
I don't know.
remember, you have a choice. Remember, you have a choice.
Does it have anything So like, let's say like when I'm doing my practice, in seclusion with my eyes closed, like when I'm practicing, like, is that any indicator? Like, let's say I like practice and then I go to the computer to do work. Like practice and like I think I feel good. Like I feel good. Then I go to the computer and then soon enough, like I don't feel good. And then I think, okay, well maybe I go practice again and I'll feel better.
You don't have to leave the computer, though. You don't
Yeah.
have to get up and go someplace. You can just close your eyes and take a deep breath and say, hey, I can come back and feel good again. I did it on the floor over there in meditation. I can do it here sitting at the desk.
Yeah.
In fact, there's a whole set of techniques that we can talk about that we'll talk about next time. Next time you call, we'll give you a set of anchors for how to develop sati throughout the day. But right now, we want to instill on you the point that it's not what you do, it's how you feel about doing it. And that when you remember that, you can start to have sati at those times when you need it. Like a time that you really need sati is when you see the boss coming. You see him down the hall. You can say, boss coming, 5 seconds ahead.
Yeah.
Bad feelings optional.
Yeah. What do you recommend, I guess, remembering to feel good? It's be a stupid question. But, yeah, just because I know it tends to be kind of like a physiological response almost, It's like, how
Well,
optional is
certainly
it?
it is. You get yourself that worked up. You throw that much body chemicals into the body. Normally, it's the adrenaline gland that does it, and it just pours a mess of stuff in there when you're in panic mode. So the question is, why do you get in panic mode when the boss comes? He hasn't fired you yet. How many times have you been in panic mode when he came and you didn't get fired?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so it's not going to be that dangerous. Why get panic?
That's a good point.
This is a good point, isn't it? Let's use some wisdom in this and see what's really going on. Things are not as bad as we create. We made this shit up.
Yeah. Hmm. I wonder, because I'm just envisioning myself in that moment and what's going on. If I could flip that switch.
Can you remember to flip that switch? That's exactly right. Can you remember to flip that switch? This is why we practice. Practice sati on the in breath and sati on the out breath to remember, to keep remembering and keep remembering and keep remembering, because you can be doing that. Keep remembering on the in breath, keep remembering on the out breath, and here the boss comes and I forget. Here he comes and I forget. No, here he comes and now I'm going to make sure I remember to be here now. It's
I
almost
feel
like
like,
we hide under the desk when we see danger coming, like we did little kids. When danger is coming, you're supposed to hide. The answer is it's not danger coming, it's the boss. Don't hide.
yeah,
He's just my friend coming. No danger.
yeah.
You don't have
I
to
think
panic and hide under the desk, but you have to remember to not do that because you're in the habit of doing it. It's the natural reaction, and it happens really quick.
what if I feel like I'm remembering and it's not working? What
Well,
if that
that
happens?
means you need to
I'm afraid
remember
this time.
again more. So the seeing it is actually not. Imagine that a good example is in bed. when you wake up in the morning, you don't really get up. You just wake up. Wake up enough to know that you're still in bed, but you're not awake enough to get out of bed.
Yeah.
So now we have to wake up enough not to just to know that we're in panic mode, but we have to actually do something to get out of it. We have to wake fully up with right effort, to take a deep breath, to tell ourselves, I don't have to go off into panic. Let me take a deep breath. I'm okay. Everything's fine. The boss is coming, but he's not bringing a pistol.
What if I have that whole commentary, and I'm not even thinking about the boss situation, because I could think about other situation maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like any other situation, like if you want something or something like that, or you feel bad because you're not getting something, like, and maybe
Okay, you're telling me that you want to remain a victim. So the question is, can you give yourself permission that you don't have to be a victim, that you in fact can come out of it? You can wake all the way up to the point of making the change. Not just enough waking up to see that something needs to be done. Okay. It's quite possible for someone to wake up in the middle of the night and realize for real that the house is on fire, but they don't get out of bed. But then a few minutes later, they may take another strong whiff of smoke or feel the heat, and now they wake up. And when they do wake up, they will get out of the room. They'll go. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's something that you need to do, is to wake up enough to come out of it. That's one's right effort.
How do I? Okay, I was gonna say, I feel like you answered it already, but like, how do I wake up? It's like wake up enough. Like, how do you wake up more? Like,
Wake up enough to say, I don't have to do this. I'm going to make a change. And it takes the same kind of effort that it does getting out of bed in the morning. Start watching that.
That's a
That
lot of
waking
effort.
up in the morning and then getting out of bed is different than waking up. Waking up, we wake up. That's why they have snooze on alarm clocks. The snooze alarm is for this very thing that I'm talking about. Is we can wake up, but not enough.
I'm not fully awake till after like half my first meeting. Like get a coffee or something.
Right, fully awake. That's what we're looking for, is to become fully woke. And
But that's
fully
my
awake
question.
means that we're willing to put in the effort that it takes, the right effort that it takes to come
Yeah.
out of our crap and to be happy. Because you already know how to be happy. We've already been through that several times in this session alone.
To make yourself laugh. Okay. So wait. So then the right effort in this case to answer my own question, if I am I see the house is on fire, I see the bad feelings, my right effort is gonna be to make myself laugh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll buy that. If you can remember to laugh, you can remember to have the feeling that gives a laugh.
Okay.
Because it could be a phony laugh, but that's better than no laugh at all.
But the right effort would be to get a real laugh.
Right.
If you
Or
don't get
let us
just a
go
full
so
laugh,
far as to say, no, the right effort is to get any laugh at all. You keep doing that, and it'll get really good.
mm, yeah.
Now, so go get any laugh at all. If you can laugh, if you can smile,
Okay.
because it's really hard to smile without feeling a smile.
Yeah.
That's why they say people to say cheese is because most photographs is a fake smile is not real.
Yeah. It's really it really doesn't seem doesn't seem like there's any other option. Seems like it's really it sucks otherwise.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Now that you're waking up to recognize how much stuff sucks, or how much suck I put on stuff.
Yeah.
We can either continue to do that and forget all about how bad things are and go ahead with all those bad feelings, or we can decide we're going to do something about it, make some changes.
Okay.
And you can make these changes. You can be a happy dude. You don't have to be miserable. You don't have to hate a job. Hate one, you hate them all.
Yeah. Yep. You're right. You're right. All right. Well, this was very memorable.
Maybe you not forget.
Listen, you see me again, that means I'll have remembered. I'll
Okay,
remember.
right. I know you. I know when I see you again that you remembered to call me.
At the very least.
All right, Keyshawn, we'll see you later.
All right. See ya. Bye.
Bye bye.